to Align Trading, going over the trades that I took today and what went on in the stock market. To start the morning off, I put in the pre-market brief for members in the Discord to be watching for this possible inverse head and shoulder, as well as the cup that was forming here, and worst case, if we did start to go down, what to be looking for, and how it could eventually play out, and each one of those things happened. So we have this inverse head and shoulder right here, and off of this 506.62 level and 507, like I explained, between that level, watch for the bounce and to hold above to then give buying continuation, and that is exactly what happened. I also explained towards the top of this 20-day moving average right here that we would retest it and start to possibly form this right here within this algorithm that we can still see is beginning to taper like this, possibly giving us a bear flag if we do want to go back down and break out of this level right here. Now I'm going to show you all of that price action here on the 1 minute chart and the entries and exits I took, as well as what I put in the Discord for members to be watching for and how it played out. So to start the morning, I saw this controlled selling algorithm right here appearing, and then it appeared once more, and again, and once again. You can see the whole way up right here with this algorithm as well. So you can see right there, that is why we continue moving up. However, I did not take that entry yet. I was waiting for the cup to fill, as you can see at this 508.26 level, and then I was waiting for this same algorithm, and right here you can see it comes in once again, and that is why I take this entry right here. So we get a nice fake move to the downside, an engulfing candle up, and I get this entry right here to break higher, and I get a nice 70-cent move right there. Here at 10.19, I explain I would usually be taking this trade right here to the downside, but the risk to reward was not there for me because I did not want to see this break down here. I wanted to wait for another entry to go long and get that 20-day retest instead of going back down. I did not see us breaking this level and continuing any lower, so I did not take the trade, even though you could have taken this nice trade. Even with the trade right there, though, I explained in order to continue going lower, what we must see is at this level right here, we need to see some sort of handle form at this 508.20 level to then bring us back down and form a shoulder here and so on. Or to the upside, what we could see was this inverse head and shoulder, grab this liquidity right here, and sure enough, that is what we did, and there is another trade right here from this same algorithm that we see right here. It is the same selling algorithm, begins to taper, and you get the move up. Here at 9:45 on this candle right here at this level, I explain and post that we are still having to stay above this line, and if we do, we will bounce. And sure enough, where do we hold and bounce from? This 508.20 level. I take my entry on this 10:53 candle, and I get the move from 508.30 all the way to 509.30. I get a whole point move right there off of this level and identifying this algorithm. It breaks the algorithm with this inverse head and shoulder right there, as well as this bigger one, grabbing this liquidity, and you get the move up. 07, I posted to be now looking out for this head and shoulder because of all of this liquidity that we have formed right here. Pay attention to this algo, and if we are able to break down, and that is exactly what happens. You see that shoulder, you see the breakdown, and it goes to this level once again. Beautiful trade. As you can see, my entry was here at that 10.11, so at 508.60, and got the move down to 507.75, which is almost another point move within a single candle. About a candle and a half, I sold the rest of my position all down here. And 19, I begin to explain that in order to go down right here, what has to happen is this inverse cup that has closed needs to form a handle right here, again at this 508.21. And if we cannot stay below it, we are going to bounce big time. What ends up happening? Exactly that. We have this level right here. It is not staying below. You can see that in order to go down, we would want to see something like that, giving us the rejection off of this level right here, but we held this level and you get the move up. I then tell them to watch for this cup starting to form here and a possible handle, and that is what we get. We get this cup, you see the handle begins tapering, and once again, you get the move up. Now, towards the middle of the day, I explained that I was going to walk away and I was all done. No need to trade this chop right here. It is very hard to enter and not get stopped out, or your contracts just not be worth it. That's why I did not take this. I'm not going to take this trade. I had a couple great trades right here. No need to trade this slow grind up, but I did explain what you could start to see here at this 20-day retest is some sort of continued tapering and possibly this head and shoulder sort of thing that ended up starting to form a little bit right at the end of the day. So we will now want to see if it takes the way back down right here and does begin to taper, holding below this 508.20 again, and then coming back down and retesting that 5-day moving average possibly. Now taking a look at what to be watching for next week on the chart and the news that is happening on Wednesday. As you can see right here, Jerome Powell is speaking and the Fed interest rate decision, so pay attention to that. The market may not make its decision until then. We could trade between the 5-day and the 20-day moving average, so pay attention to that. There is also some big earnings next week, some companies like Apple, so pay attention to those as well. What we can see, however, starting to form here with these two moving averages is we are still forming this cup right here. So watch for this to continue to fill at this level right here. If we can regain this 20-day moving average, possibly getting a bounce off of this before forming this inverse head and shoulder more right here with all this liquidity, could be a good zone to revisit, closing this inverse cup and then possibly coming back down before we continue making our move up. However, if we do still want to go back down, pay attention, we are still in this bear flag right here until we break out of this clearly, closing this cup and regaining this 20-day moving average. We can still easily reject all of this liquidity right here and close that right there to take us down to this bigger cup and then decide if we want to break down even more. If there is some really good news next week and the market likes what it hears, we can continue filling this cup right here, grabbing this liquidity, and possibly even moving higher to test this level right here at 520 to 518. Now, taking a look at the daily chart, as I was explaining all week, that we would be retesting this 20-day moving average here, and we finally did. The bottom Bollinger and the upper Bollinger are about equal away from each other now, so what we are going to look for is if the 5-day begins to cross above the 20 and we regain our bullish trend, or if we reject this once again and then fall below the 5-day and come test the bottom Bollinger. In order for that to happen, we may even base. It may take till FOMC, right, with that basing for the moving averages to catch up to each other before a big move is made to the upside or downside using them. So just pay attention to this and understand that we are in the middle of this range right here. We have this liquidity right here above, and then we also have all of this down here that we can come and retest possibly into this 480 level if we want to finish this inverse cup. But pay attention if we are starting to form this inverse head and shoulder, as well as this cup here on the daily, possibly coming back up to this level, or forming a shoulder up here at that 517, 518 to probably 520 area. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you at opening bell on Monday.